Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, do you have to do cardio exercise in order to be maximally healthy? And if you're a child of the 70s, if you're a baby boomer, you've probably been brought up with the idea that, oh my gosh, in order to be healthy, you have to run, you have to do 150 hours or minutes a week or so doing some sort of vigorous activity, and you got to keep your heart rate up, blah, 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 and that's what it takes to be healthy. But is that true? Is that government recommendation based on science? Is this going to help you lose fat? Is it going to improve the power of your lungs, etc.? And frankly, I bought into that for years, but there's been a couple of things that have really popped up on my radar screen that made me question it. And I have not engaged in any aerobic activity or cardio activity as a way of getting exercise for quite a long time, and actually found my ability to do stuff actually really improved, and I couldn't quite figure out why. And then I ran across an article by Dr. Michael Eads in his email newsletter called The Arrow, and he mentioned that you don't improve the muscularity and the strength of your lungs when you do cardio exercise. Your heart muscle is this very special type of muscle. It's not like the muscles in your arms or your legs. Musculature is very different. They're different cells. And it is possible to increase the vascularity of the heart, but really not make it physically bigger, stronger. And your lungs certainly don't. What happens when you do any type of activity that requires an increased oxygen demand, your body adapts and becomes more efficient at bringing oxygen into your body. So, it's an adaptive response utilizing a whole host of different enzymes and stuff like that. It's a very complicated process, but it improves, but it doesn't require cardio exercise in order to make that happen. In other words, virtually anything is cardio exercise when you really think about it. Anything that puts your heart under strain, that when your body needs more oxygen, your body's going to create an adaptive response over time. Now, here's a question for you. Does cardio exercise burn more fat than anything? And this was kind of shocking to me that even the National Institute of Health on their studies keep showing that, look, exercise alone doesn't decrease the amount of fat on your body. It is a minimal effect. Really, if you want to lose weight, if you want to lose weight in terms of body fat, your diet is really going to be the key driver on that one. Exercise doesn't do anything really as far as fat loss is concerned. So if you're doing cardio because you think you're burning fat, you're wasting your time, actually. Now, what does this mean? Well, what it really means is, what do you want to do? If you are an athlete and you have very specific goals, if you're a decathlete, we're going to the Olympics right now, and you're competing at very high levels, yes, you've got to do certain amount of different types of exercises to help you achieve your goals. But if you're an average person, a non-athlete who is just trying to be maximally healthy, do you need to do cardio work, which is defined basically as doing something that elevates your heart rate to a certain range, up in the upper range, like 80-90% of your maximum possible, and maintain it for a long time. Do you have to do that? No, you don't. And actually, in some ways, that may actually damage you, depending on what type of exercise you're doing. But when you're putting your body under that type of strain and load for an extended period of time, you're actually creating an inflammatory response that is negative to your body's overall health, requiring lots of time to recover from it. So you don't have to do it to be maximally healthy, which is kind of nice, because now you can save a lot of time by just doing your exercise in an intense but relatively short amount of time. I spend about an hour a week doing exercise. And I try to break it up into a certain amount of resistance training, where I'm trying to put my body under load, and I do it in a high intensity type of fashion where I'm doing it for a minute on, 30 seconds off, minute on, 30 seconds off, and I can get a lot done in a relatively short period of time, and getting my pulse rate up for a short period of time, and getting the work done. So it creates improvement in cardiovascular health, but doesn't create injury. And what my main goals are when I am engaging in exercise is, number one, I want to increase the amount of muscle, lean tissue that I have in my body, because frankly, there's benefits just in having more muscle. It allows the body to move more efficiently. It makes me more metabolically healthy. It strengthens the body in a lot of different ways, and the muscle absorbs glucose out of the bloodstream very efficiently, and that's really a very helpful thing. I mean, we used to think that fat and muscle were just kind of okay by themselves. I mean, nobody really understood how both of these systems play into your metabolic health. And the more muscle you've got, the more metabolically healthy you're going to be and able to deal with more of life's challenges. And I want more strength. Now, muscle and strength are not necessarily the same. You need strength to avoid infirmity. And that's the killer. I mean, you want to be able to hold yourself up. You want to not be stuck in bed. You don't want to be using a wheelchair or walker. You want to be able to be as mobile as possible. I mean, one of the, we're kind of evolutionarily designed to keep, what's going to keep us alive is being mobile. That's what keeps us from becoming food for something else and allows us to get food. So having mobility up until the time that you die is really important. And it's amazing how, when you're stuck and you're in an infirmed position, and how quickly you can lose your overall muscle mass and go downhill very quickly. So you don't want to do that. My third goal when it comes to exercise is not to injure myself. And that's why I've really gotten away from cardio, is because that is inherently an inflammatory response, and you're damaging your joints. You're putting your knees, if you're running, you're putting your knees under repeated stress, and you're losing cartilage, and you're damaging yourself. And I see so many friends of mine that have been runners for long periods of their lives getting knee replacements, hip replacements, shoulder replacements done because of those repetitive stress injuries that are done because they've been doing steady state aerobic activity. And frankly, you don't need it in order to be healthy, so why do it? Why put yourself under that type of dangerous load for really no health benefit? You get the same effects from doing weightlifting, but you also get the other benefits, which is the strength and the muscle. So you don't need to do cardio, and you don't need to do it to lose fat. You don't have to do it to build up a bigger and stronger chest and heart muscle and lungs, etc., because that comes from just improving efficiency. So don't worry about the cardio. Now, that does not mean that I'm against doing things like walking and stuff like that and being active. That's good stuff. We're designed to be, explorers of this world, and I like it, and it's useful, but it's not the same thing as exercise, which is deliberately putting my body under strain to build muscle and strength. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this will help you to rethink the way you've been thinking about exercise and realizing that, look, a lot of this advice that we get is coming from what sources at the end of the day? Who's telling us to do this stuff? Well, there's this government that has these really weird stuff that Big Food has really liked this lie, because then they can say, well, you're fat. That's obviously because you're just not running enough. You're not engaging in enough activity. They love this lie because, frankly, they don't have to take responsibility for their crappy food. The people that put out processed food, sugary soft drinks, and all that stuff are sponsoring the hell out of the Olympics. And basically telling you, you know, the reason why you're fat is because you are not active enough. And frankly, that's not true. You're fat because you're eating their crap. That's the problem. Diet is the main driver of all this stuff. So hopefully this will be helpful to help you get more focused on what's truly important as far as getting healthy is concerned. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. And remember, in this fight for your health, we're all alone in this, but we can all be alone in this together. I'll talk to you again soon.